Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, in this week, I will make a video about literal reading task Sir Holandyah about chapter 11 and chapter 12. Chapter 11, learning the difference between play and sport. This article discusses the role sports have in developing character and contributing to education. L. Pierce Williams, the writer of this article, is a teacher and an enthusiastic sportsman. 1. I like pain. This is an acquired taste and can be overdone, but pain is important to me. This rather bizarre taste makes me an avid player of all sports and a fantastic spectator. Pain raises sport from the level of entertainment of that of human achievement, and I consider it central to be a human education. 2. Second, I became conscious of the difference between play and sport when I helped organize a sandlot football team at the age of 12, since this was a child-directed. And like our parents didn't know where we were. Activity. We had to figure out what we would do. The first thing was to schedule a game with a similar team from a nearby town. 3. It never occurred to us to practice or prepare for the game except to what we had done for years. Run around, pass the football and yell. The result was catastrophic. Our opponents were prepared. They slaughtered us. Half the team was injured and all of us were humiliated. Follow the leader. 4. It dawned on us that we were engaged in a sport, not in play. If we were to play decently, let alone win, we would have to prepare, and the only way was to learn the discipline of practice. 5. Looking back, I realized that at that moment we underwent a profound experience. We entered into a social contract that bound us together with ties still strong after more than 30 years. 6. Quarterback imposed his role on us. He was never elected captain or coach, but simply assumed this office. His voice was stentorian and his will was indomitable. He focused my attention on the importance of pain and the reaction to it. 7. We had been pushed around unmercifully by a larger and stronger opponent. On our 5-yard line, he told the team he would take the ball on every play until we lost it. And from the look in his eye, we all knew we had better not lose it. He was not large, and it seemed folly to plunge into the center of the line, especially since he had no pads or helmet to protect him. 8. The first rush caught the other team by surprise, and he went for 10 yards. On the second plunge, they stiffened, but we still moved for 60 yards. We inched forward. After the first few rushes, it was clear that our offense consisted of one play up the center. By the time we had penetrated to their 30-yard line, our quarterback was covered with dust and blood, but still giving the same command, "Snap the ball to me on 3." 9. A surprising thing happened. The opposition collapsed. We moved 5, then 10, then 15 yards until the touchdown was made. 10. One boy, determined to break his opponents regardless of personal agony, had demoralized 11 other boys, all as big as or bigger than he and as good or better football players. Their undoing was their inability to understand how the human will can drive the body to do things that defy reason. 11. I have never forgotten that day and the lesson I learned. Like my teammates, I had a healthy fear of pain, but I realized that this fear could be overcome and that the man who could overcome it had a distinct advantage. At the moment, at that moment, I became a sports nut. 12. In the years since, I have used that lesson well. Pain of one sort or another is everywhere. It is painful to confront a problem in mathematics that you cannot solve. It is excruciating to roll blank paper into a typewriter and have no words count for hours. It hurts to give a lecture that puts students to sleep, or worse, that is terrible but applauded. 13. These are mental agonies, but they are no less real than the physical, and I am convinced that learning to live with and transcend physical pain can give one the strength to conquer the mental variety. Onward and upward. 14. And so I have continued to punish myself. Even the slow pace I run, it hurts. My past patterns is touch football are becoming fuzzy and less clean. The weights get heavier to lift, even when they add up to the same total, and I don't bunch quiet so lightly anymore in a judo throw, and it is still worth it, and for my will remains firm, though is my physical sight. 15. And more and more. I have become a faithful spectator. For what I think I see in sports, it is the process by which young people become mature men and women. I realize that modern psychology has claimed that sports do not build character. It is true, but that sports may not improve a person, just as a college education is often wasted. 16. I choose to teach because I thought, or I think, that our human education can or must create better people, and I firmly believe that sports are a fundamental part of that education. To know of what one is capable, both mentally and physically, is to know the scope of one's freedom, and that is what education is all about. And that's for chapter 11.